Hello, everybody. My name is Dan, and welcome to our monthly mastermind.org live LinkedIn event. And today, actually, we're going to go over a very interesting book. It's called A One-Page Marketing Plan by Allan. And I don't know the author. He is a great guy. I've seen a couple of videos where he was a guest and he talked. So we're going to cover this book, and we're going to do some examples that are prepared. Then if you in comments, or if you want to talk, just raise your hand. You can ask your questions, tell us about how you would implement your one-page marketing plan, and we'll go from there. Now, if you want to get this book for free, kind of free, I guess there's a 30-day trial on Amazon. I put a link here where you can get it, and that is an affiliate link, so it does help support this group. Me too, since I spent time organizing this, recording, uploading. Anyway, it's called, basically go to monthlymastermind.org/free books. And I put the link there and explanation how to get it and how it works, and then how I get it for cheap later when your 30-day trial expires, and you can cancel it anytime. Anyway, for future events, if you have your own book and you want to recommend it, as long as it's something to do to help the business, that's what we're looking for. It doesn't have to be business book. It could be like diet for business owners, or how to lower your stress, but business, marketing, sales, stuff like that. That's also, of course, priority. Just let me know what it is, and I'll tell you if we can plug it in one of the future events. Also, if you know an author who's interested to be interviewed, or who approves of us to share his book, let us know. Or just a book that you recommend, because this one is just from Amazon. I just like the book, but you can tell us about a book that you like. And also, if we can get the book for free or not, this particular book, obviously with the 30-day trial, plus it's not that expensive anyway if your 30-day trial is expired. All right, so what are the main benefits of this book? Like, why would you want to spend your time to read the book? So basically, if you have an idea of a business, a service, anything like that you're going to go into, a lot of people know this, that 97% of these businesses fail, and a lot of times it's simply they don't plan. If you don't plan, you basically plan to fail. And this book is going to help you plan. But as the title says, it's a one-page plan. So it's very simplified. I'm literally going to lay out a plan, within like less than an hour. So that's how simple this is. And hopefully then this will help you be within the 30% and increase your chances of success. Now, before I get into it, let me just tell a little bit about the author. I do not know the author. Like I said earlier, I have watched him on internet, and he seems like a great guy. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's from Australia, and he is a best-selling author. Now, the one thing that I noticed just from reading and watching him is that he is passionate about helping businesses, find new and innovative ways to leverage technology. But he just, he likes helping. I mean, that's kind of what he strikes me as. And believe it or not, his contact info, even his email, is in the back of the book. I don't know if I should say that or not, but he published it, so I'm assuming we can say that. Let's start, before we get into the whole thing. The one thing I really liked about the book, and I've read this in a couple of books, not just Allan's book, is the 80-20 rule by Vilfredo Pareto. And if you get this principle, I really live by this principle. I've used it for at least the last 10 years. And it's basically like, and these are some examples. So I'm going to read them, and then you can apply this pretty much across not just business, but life. So 80% of companies' profits come from 20% of its customers. It's like 80% of America's taxes come for 20% of its citizens. But anyway, so that one I made up. But you get the idea. 80% of road traffic accidents are caused by 20% of drivers. 80% of software usage is by 20% of its users. 80% of companies' complaints come from 20% of its customers. 80% of wealth is owned by 20% of the people. Actually, that goes with the one I said earlier with taxes. Allan even noted that 80% of success is showing up. This is exactly from the book, by the way, from Allan's book. So how can you apply this? Basically, 80% of your results in your plan are going to come from 20% of your effort that you implement. You'll have to find out what 20% are the best by trial and error implementing. But the more you read these books and the more you learn, the less you're going to have to make mistakes. And I've actually heard Allan literally talk on the interview that he spent like 10 years making mistakes and stuff. And that's one of the reasons you can benefit from his book. So before I get into it, one more thing is how to kill your business. This is one part that I saw in the book, and I thought it was very powerful. If you go out there and blindly try to mimic these large corporations that have billions of dollars, and they have access to the printing press, they get money at cheap rates, they get money whenever they want, it doesn't apply to you and me. I've never been able to get a business loan. I never will be able to get a business loan. I don't have access to the printing press. I don't have access to the insiders. I will never have access to the insiders and have a privileged position. So it'd be dumb for me to mimic these, giant insider companies that have a privileged status in the, in the economy. So don't try to do that. It's usually a waste for the majority. But that's what a lot of tiny little companies do. And again, 97% fail. What we're trying to do is basically a direct response, which we can measure. We want to follow up. So if you're going to kill your business, don't follow up. If you want to kill your business, don't measure. If you want to kill your business, don't test. If you want to kill your business, go after brand awareness and spend money on that. I assume a lot of us don't have money. Even if we have money, we don't have enough of it. So a lot of this, what we're going to go through, implementing from the books, is that we're going to leverage a finite amount of resources, money, time, all these resources. So let's get into it. So there's in the book, he outlines 3 phases of your marketing journey. So the 3 phases of the marketing journey are before, during, and after. Now, Allan in the book, he outlined that before, that's where you're basically focusing on the prospect, okay? That's somebody who you just identified, you don't have any relationship, you haven't even started pretty much, that's a prospect. So we're gonna get into the details of the before. Then there's a during, and this is your lead. Again, he's not your customer, but he's not a prospect anymore. You're really marketing to this person, you're doing sales and so on, and you're trying to convert him into a customer. So that is the during phase, and we're going to break down the during phase in a minute and give you live examples. And then there's a after phase, and this is where you have your customer. Now that customer obviously can increase and go forward and can do many other things. So, but that's your customer in the after phase. Okay, so you definitely want to focus on that. Now this is from the book. And I took a screenshot just to show you, this is pretty powerful. And really, we mentioned prospect, but in a way, the word cold, you really want to warm that up, into and convert them into customers and go into our raving fans. Now you can run a business without having raving fans. I've never been a big fan of that word, but if you can get somebody to really be a raving fan, to be super excited about you and your product and services, that's better, of course. So, you're really attracting interest, you're nurturing leads, you're delivering, you're getting referrals. So, he's kind of divided this in front and back ad. I'm going to break this all down, and I'm also going to literally give you examples. So let's get started. I'm going to show you the 3, and then after that, we're going to go and break this down. There's, I think, 8 or 9 elements on his 1-page marketing plan. Now, this is the 1/3 top of this 1 page. I've cut it off to put it into the slide. So on the before, we have 3 elements of the before. And again, don't worry, all this that you see blank, I'm going to fill it up for you. Excuse me. So on the before, we have, my target market. That's our number 1. We have my message to the target market. And number 3, we have the media I will use to reach the target market. Okay, now for during, again, we have 3 here, and those are my lead capture system, my nurturing system, and my sales conversion strategy. Don't worry about that. Again, we're going to break it down and we're going to give you examples. And then finally, the last 3, we have how I deliver a world-class experience, how I increase customer lifetime value, and how I orchestrate and stimulate the referrals. So those are breakdown. Again, this is all on one page. If you go into the book, I kind of broke it down because I want to basically go from 1 to 9 on each of these 3, and then kind of give you examples. Now, I'm going to give you the first example on the slide is me. I just finished my 1-page marketing plan that I'm going to implement. I'm just going to give you a little bit of background on, I'm going to give you 2 examples. The other one is going to be with a keto diet plan, and that's not my business. That's someone else that I'm in the early phases. I don't have it done, but I'm going to use that as well and just tell you that one so you can kind of get to hear it. Again, later, I'm going to give you a link on how to contact me if you want to literally go through your own 1-page plan, talk about it with me, mastermind. I'll give you all the contact info and everything that you can set it up, and then we'll go through yours. All right, so the number 1, this is again in the before section, is the target, my target market. Who are we targeting? Now, in my particular plan that I've literally finished, I'm targeting experts. So anyone who's an expert of anything of value. So what's an expert? Someone who's like a diet expert, loan, real estate expert, someone who's an expert on, solar panels, anything that you're an expert in. You don't have to have a published book, but if you do, then you're even more expert. If you have been working in it for years, you're an expert. If you're working in it for a year, you're an expert. A lot of times you're an expert just because you studied it. There's a lot of academic experts who've never done the thing, but they teach the thing. What's an example? Well, they didn't go to space, but they teach astronauts who have been to space just because they study it, so they can go out there and explain the procedures of a spacewalk and train the astronauts, but they've never done it. So you can be an expert by studying. You can be an expert by researching. I focus on targeting those experts, and I'll tell you later, what I'm offering and all of that, because that's down from 1 to 9, but that's my target audience. Now, on the other example, on a client of mine that I'm early stages, I haven't even picked the name or the website or anything. We're in a very, very early stages. We're going to be targeting people who want to lose weight, or they want to improve their healthier living, increase energy. So we're looking people who want to live healthier. So that's the second example. Just want to give you like 2 examples. Now that one I haven't written down because I haven't really finished that one, but I want to say it, then you can kind of get at least 2 examples. Now, number 2 is you want to write down, if you notice in the book, Allan has it blank. So what you can do is take a screenshot like I did, print it out, and then you can scribble on it if you like to do it that way. I did it on the slide. I found that to be easier for me. So what is my message to the market? Okay. So on my particular business that I'm trying to set up is I want to help these experts monetize their expertise. Because, some experts, the only monetization they have is, they go to NASA, maybe we'll use that example there. They go to NASA and they teach. But, when they talk to me, I say, okay, well, we can do a book, we can do a YouTube, we can do consulting. So there's other avenues of monetization. And I've done it for 10 years. I've talked to over 1,000 experts in 10 years. So I can often see some avenue or a channel of monetization that they didn't see. So that's the message I get over to them. Another message is how to optimize the lead generation. A lot of times the experts are really great, but they don't know how to get more leads, or they don't know how to optimize the sales funnel so they get better leads and they can track that and get numbers. So that's really the message that I want to get to the market. Now, what about the other example for the keto diet? What's the message there? Well, the message is, if you fail on the Atkins diet, or if you tried for 10 years And I used to be 270 pounds. I've tried for many years and I've failed for 10 years on the diet and health front. So I would like to hear that kind of message. So I know that's a very powerful message. You failed, nothing worked. Let me show you a better way, the keto way. And that would be the message for that second example that I gave you. All right, let's move on to number 3. The media I will use, to reach the target market. Okay, so we got a typo there. We'll fix that later. In my particular case, we're going to use LinkedIn. We're going to use Quora. You're going to use YouTube, and we're going to use Kindle. I'm working on a Kindle book that's going to be published, and then that, in a way, will attract leads. Now, you can use thousands of other channels. There's print. You can send postcards. You can cold call. You can mail letters. You can knock on doors. I mean, there's millions and millions of ways that you can reach the target market. So that's totally going to be up to you on picking that. Now, on the second example, for my client, we haven't worked out, so I don't have it. But I know one of them is going to be LinkedIn, and that's really as far as we have on the second example. So they kind of these overlap. You think about how are you going to reach the market? What are yours? Feel free to comment below, or we'll talk about it on the one-on-one, and I'll give you a link on how to get that at the end. Now, what is my particular lead capture system? Now, I'm going to be using WordPress to have a website where they're going to go and where they're going to be able to put in their information. I'm going to then be setting up Get Response, and this is an autoresponder system. Now you can use any other system you want. And then I'm going to have Zapier because it's going to be connecting to HubSpot. So I have a CRM, a customer relationship manager system, and I'm going to be plugging in ClickFunnels for like squeeze pages and stuff. So that's particularly mine. For the second example, for my client who does keto diet, I haven't gotten this far yet, but it's probably going to be ClickFunnels more than likely, but we'll see when we get that done. Think about what is yours going to be. How are you going to capture the lead? So there's thousands of ways. Everybody does it differently. Someone has the great thing is there's millions of systems out there. There's no shortage of it. You just got to see which one you're comfortable with. And what's great is the price is falling consistently for these systems. So there's a very low barrier of entry now. Now, the next number 5 is lead nurturing system. So how do you nurture these leads? What do you do? Well, we mentioned the Get Response. That's the autoresponders. So if they go ahead and they fill out their name, they want to get alerts, or they want to get the newsletter, or you have some kind of a marketing magnet, or you get a free ebook, you can put them on a system and they get notifications from your autoresponder. That kind of nurtures them, especially if you focus on education and helping them. So that's really going to nurture that lead. So at the moment when they're ready to do business with you, you have some built-in trust, and it's going to be a lot easier to convert. The other thing you're going to do is create blog posts. I already started doing that the last six months for me, so I'm already nurturing some leads. And I've actually converted a few already in 6 months. So I know this works pretty good. I do another thing is I'm doing these monthly events on LinkedIn. So that's helping me nurture the leads. And then the other thing I do is I'm averaging about a few people every week. They go to Calendly and then they pick a date and time and do free or paid consulting with me. And that has helped nurture. Actually, that's probably one of the most powerful one, is where I got hired the most and where I pick up the most work because I do a lot of consulting. But I'm going to have some courses and info products. So this is also going to help with that as well. And then I'm going to be doing group coaching and mastermind. Now, for my other client, she's only going to be doing one, and that's going to be Calendly, and then it's going to be paid consulting. That's it. So I haven't put it on paper yet, but that's an example. Now, what are you going to do? So you can approach this many different ways. That's the great thing. You don't have to worry about it. And, just start with something and you can always improve and fix your nurturing system. Now, number 6 is my sales conversion strategy. So basically, I want to, learn the problems and the needs that my customers have. And I want to customize the offer based on that. So this is for my consulting business. A lot of times they'll tell me, I have a squeeze page, but it's not working, or I send tons of leads, but they're not converting, or, I get a lot of appointments, but I don't get any business, or, I have a real estate business, but I can't make it profitable. I've had every single problem that I've heard. I will just customize an offer for them and, then make them that offer. I'm going to help you this way, and I'll make a proposal. So in my particular case, it's just going to be a customized strategy. And I am going to be selling courses on that particular one. I'm going to try something new that I've never done, and it's going to be a donation. In other words, you get the course for free and you just make a donation for it. And that's basically it. And we'll see how that goes. I've never done it before, so it's going to be done soon, and we're going to test that out. For my other client, she's basically going to have a upfront. Actually, she's going to have it a little different. I think there is a payment at the end of the consultation, and the reason for that is if they're not happy and she feels like she can't help them, she doesn't want the money. But I haven't totally finalized how that plan is going to work. That's the one I'm going to be working on next. But I want to kind of talk about two different things so you guys can see it. So, what is your sales conversion strategy? How are you going to convert them? So that's something to write down again. You can write it on the paper and then just keep improving, So that's the great thing. Number 7 is how to deliver a world-class experience. In today's age of all the online feedback, if you Google me, I don't think there's any bad reviews because I always cared about delivering a great experience and try to over-deliver. So that's me. So usually the thing that I do well is when someone hires me or buys a product or buys a course or anything, I deliver an amazing orientation. So they totally understand is how to move forward and how to get the most out of the money that they just spent. And a lot of people, it's a lot of money for them. So I respect that, and I always try to over deliver. I also always help when they get stuck, and I give attention. So that's the one thing that I do differently is I give a lot of attention, and I always try to over deliver. If I sense anybody's unhappy, especially in early stages, if they tell me, I always refund. I've always done that. If they call me after a year, I might not even have the capability to refund, but I've rarely refunded. But if I have refunded, don't get me wrong, I'm not 100% perfect. And sometimes it's a misunderstanding. Some of the things they'll get that, they don't, they let me know, I send the money back. So I want to keep everybody happy. So on the second example for the keto, it's actually going to be super easy because no one's going to pay unless they do have a good experience. So I think they will get a good experience. I've gone through this keto program myself. It's an excellent program, and I know another person's gone through it and was also extremely happy. That's the main thing, is that you really deliver what you promised. If you promise to install solar panels in the roof and they fall off and the first storm comes, well, that's not going to be a world-class experience. And if you don't fix it or refund the money, you're bound to get a 1-star negative review online, and that's going to hurt your future business. So this number 7 is extremely important on your plan. Number 8 is how to increase customer value. Well, first, if you do number 7 very well, a lot of times they're going to bring other people, they're going to buy other things that you have, and that will increase the customer value. If you have monthly payments, you want to keep them as long as profitable. Now, in my particular case, because I'm doing consulting a lot or teaching in courses, they need to make money because I'm, helping experts monetize. Well, a lot of experts, believe it or not, are never making any money or they're not profitable. So I need to fix that if they want to stay with me and keep working with me. So that's how I'm going to increase customer value, is by making them profitable and helping them grow. So how to increase customer value on keto? I guess in keto, once you, so this is the second example. Once my client delivers great value, well, a lot of times they're going to get to the end, they might need, they might need a follow-up in a year, make sure they don't fall off the wagon. They might go to a more expertise program. Once they get the understanding of keto and they implement it, they can go to step 2, step 3. They might bring other people in and so on. So there's a few ways to do it. But think about, how can you increase customer value? Is it, keeping a customer longer, upselling them? Do you have some additional things that can be valuable to them? That's something to put into your plan. Again, it might not be something that you have right now, and that's okay. So just skip number 8. And then finally, number 9 is how to orchestrate and stimulate referrals. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to do for me. One is I'm going to be giving coupons that have codes. So when they put in that code, they're going to get a referral, and it's going to be only for them. And I'm not going to do this all the time, but when I have something special, I'm going to first offer it to my customers with the code. They can share it. And then if anybody signs up, they're going to get something of value. I'm going to make them an affiliate. I've done this different ways, but I found the codes is the best, because if you give them a link, to me, it's a scam a lot of times. They give me a link, but the customer clicks on it, looks at it, doesn't sign up. A month later, they sign up on a different computer. Well, I send that referral, but I get $0. To me, that's a scam pretty much. And a lot of people do the links because they know they're going to get a lot of, they're going to scam a lot of affiliates and not pay. Even though they generated the lead, they will not pay them. And I hate doing that to affiliates. So, but anyway, this is how it's done normally. But how are you going to do it? It's up to you. And, I'm always going to make something special from time to time to people. So it really is not going to be available on the web, and it'll be limited with time. I don't have it yet, but I will, once I have it, I'll put it in the plan. So for me, this is going to be blank. I just wanted to outline it. And for the second example, the keto, I don't have anything. How are you going to do it? Well, you could do the standard way, just give them the link. That's super easy to do. Every platform will generate an affiliate link for you, whichever platform you use. We started off with one shopping cart, and they gave us affiliate links. And I did the links in the beginning. I didn't know better. But eventually I realized, when people started complaining, that sometimes they sent customers to me and they weren't getting paid. And I didn't even know that in the beginning, but I don't like doing the links anymore. But how are you going to do it? So, links, coupons, and some other tracking way. It might be they just say who referred, if you do verbal business, because some people do that. But find a way that you can make sure that they get paid if they send you business. And that's it. So what next? Well, first, if you want to get the book, again, go to monthlymastermind.org/free books. And I explained it. If you get stuck, don't find it, you have questions, anything, you can email me, dan@monthlymastermind.org. I usually respond the next working day. Now, if you don't hear from me, I have stage 4 cancer. I literally have my second surgery next week. I've been in the hospital last year, 3 months. And I'm going to have another surgery if this surgery goes well, and I'm going to be in the hospital for another 7 days. But 7 days turns into 30 when you have terminal cancer. So if you don't hear from me, that's what it is. It's my sickness. So don't get angry. And I don't have any staff. I had to scale down. I pretty much went bankrupt. My LinkedIn is linkedin.com. And then this /IN/DanS41. I do, again, I check every next working day if I'm healthy. And then also let me know if you want to be a guest expert in future events, or if you know someone who wants to be, just make sure they contact me. I don't like contacting them. I don't have a lot of energy. So, if you just say, I don't know, Tony Robbins is great. Well, there's no way for me to contact Tony Robbins to have him be my guest. He's never going to be my guest. So only somebody you know personally who wants to be, and then they approach me. Rest assured, more than likely I will put them on there on the next monthly mastermind. And keep in mind, all this is a small group. And I will send you, if you contact me on LinkedIn and you want a private session, just mention that you watched the recording of this or you were in the event, and I'll send you a private Calendly. It will be confidential, and then we'll just talk about you, and it won't be recorded or public or anything. This one's recorded. And that's it. So if you have a question, you can type it in, raise your hand or talk. I rarely get anybody. Mostly people are shy. If you're watching the recording, again, you can contact, leave a comment, contact me, and anything you want to do. All right, let me see if there's any questions on Zoom. So I'm going to stop the sharing here. All right, so if you want to talk, feel free to talk. If not, going to end the event. Okay, nobody. All right, thank you guys. If anybody attended, if not, thank you for watching the recording. I'm going to upload this to monthlymastermind.org and I'm going to put it up on YouTube. This is probably the first time I did the book. That's why it's a low showing. But I love the book. If you read it, please leave a comment on YouTube or on monthlymastermind.org. I would love to hear what you thought about Allan Dib's book. Take care. Bye.